Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, my name is Choua, and today I thought I would do kind of like a get ready with me, but like also trying a new kind of makeup style. In previous videos, I talked about like doing Asian inspired makeup, and that's because I have never actually done like a Korean makeup style or Japanese or Chinese or Thai or Filipino. I kind of just draw inspiration from what I see on social media and like the Asian dramas that I watch, and I kind of just apply the look to my face and kind of just make it work for my face features. So I've never actually followed a tutorial, so I thought today would be a really fun video to do and see if I actually like a specific Asian makeup style. So today I'm going to be doing Chinese makeup, or what they call it, Douyin. I saw a lot of videos on Instagram, and so I drew a lot of inspiration from all of those videos. I'm gonna put the video and like the account name of like the main video I'm going to be following today, just to credit the creator and let y'all know that I am following a video. I zoomed y'all in a little closer. I do have my contacts in right now so I can see y'all. I'm just gonna go ahead and moisturize my lips a little bit. I am using the e.l.f. Squeeze Me Lip Balm. This is in Peach. I'm just trying to use this up. It's not my favorite formula. Like, it's moisturizing when you start off, but then like later it kind of just disappears and it's not as hydrating anymore. But there's a few steps that I am incorporating into today's look that is not part of the video, but that's just because I want to use some of my products and it feels kind of weird for me to not do those steps, like especially like prepping my skin and everything. So to start off, I'm just gonna prime my face. I don't actually know how people overseas prime their face, but I'm gonna just use my e.l.f. what is this? e.l.f. Velvet Finish Face Primer to prime my face. I do have my sunscreen on and everything already, but I just need this a little bit to really blur out the pores before I go in and do this makeup look. So I've primed the face, and it looks like when it comes to Chinese makeup, they do their base first and then they like go in with their eyes, which is normally what I do, but lately I've been doing eyes first and then face. So let's do that step. I'm using my Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. They use a lighter base on their face. They don't really match it to their neck like how we do in Western countries. So I am just going to put some on the back of my hand, and let's put this. I'm also like filming more videos after this, so I have to make sure that this look is at least suitable on camera. So I'm gonna try not to mess it up too much. So I basically just painted it on with my fingers a little bit. I realized that just looking at some of the Chinese makeup tutorials on Instagram, they use a lot of different products, and I don't really have some of them, so I'm probably gonna skip some of the steps or try to work with just what I have. But yeah, so I'm gonna go in with this Real Technique sponge slash puff. From the videos, it looks like most people use like a puff to blend in their foundations instead of like a brush or a sponge. So I'm gonna use this because I don't have a cushion puff or anything like that. So I am just going to use this. This is also my first time using this tool, so I thought this video would be appropriate to test this out as well. Do I need to add a little bit more? Like, I feel like this coverage is a little light. Let me just go in and pat it onto the cheeks a little bit more. I could have color corrected before I went in, but it's okay. I don't want to look too cakey, because I noticed that some Chinese makeup tutorials, from afar it looks very beautiful, but then up close it actually looks really heavy. And I, like y'all probably know, but I don't really like heavy makeup. I just think it looks bad on me. And if I do go heavy, it's for a special occasion or something like that. So I'm trying my best to still kind of tailor it to my taste, but also like being experimental at the same time. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. This is an okay tool to use to really press in the base products. Not bad, actually. I might use this a little bit more often for that, especially if I'm doing more like Asian inspired makeup looks. So next, I'm gonna go in with a concealer. I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer. And it looks like she conceals under the eyes, like so. And then she uses like a brush or something. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use my concealer brush and just conceal, don't feel. Feels kind of weird not priming my eyes. I'm just gonna pat it a little bit. Okay. This is kind of what I used to do too when I first started getting into makeup. I only concealed under the eyes, didn't really conceal like my entire T-zone. So it kind of feels like I'm going back in time in a way, you know? We're getting into contour. I'm gonna use my Essence Baby Got Bronze in Moon Dust. Because it's so stubby, I'm actually gonna use a brush with this. So it looks like she put some here, like 2 strokes here, 1 here, like so, I think. Look, this might not be like as exact as hers, but I'm still learning. So there's that, and then here and here, I think that's what she did. I'm just gonna match it to here and here. I think that's the contour. I feel like I'm doing this a little wrong, but it is what it is. She used her pad, so I'm also just gonna use my pad and blend that out. Hopefully this turns out well. I don't know. Did I not put enough like contour? I'm not sure. But then again, she's using different products than I am, so that's fine. So now we're gonna contour the nose area. So I'm gonna also just go in with this. She uses like a contour product that's thinner, but I don't have that. So I'm just gonna use my brush again. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Okay, let's just keep going. I'm just gonna put this on here, and it looks like she goes like down like this and this. I look like I have a dirty nose, but trust the process, trust the process. So now I'm going to just lightly wipe my contour brush, and it looks like she just uses a brush to blend. So I'm just gonna use this brush to blend. It's just to create a shadow, so I'm hoping that this is okay. Okay, how does that look? Like I feel like I have a bruised nose or something. Okay, so for concealer, it looks like she put some on the forehead, down the nose, like right on the side of the nose, and then the chin area. So I'm gonna also do that. But because the Maybelline concealer is a little thicker, like the applicator, I'm actually just gonna go in with my AOA Flawless Liquid Concealer and just, hopefully this is light enough. Okay. And then down the nose, some here, and then looks like she put some here, like so. All right, and it looks like, well, this part, she didn't show blending it, but I'm assuming she's using her puff once again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my puff for this. And blend. I think to clean up the shadow, I think that's what this concealer is doing. I'm just assuming that's what this is doing. And then just blend down the nose. I don't know. Are you gonna? I hope y'all are able to. I hope y'all are able, or y'all can tell like what I'm doing. I feel like I just ruined my contour. Like I feel like I just blended it out too much. She uses a lighter blush like right in the center face area, like in her cheeks. So I'm gonna go in with my ABH Pink Dahlia blush here, and I am just gonna use my finger and just tap it here. Face structure is a little different, so I am just going approximately like where she went. I'm hoping for the best. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm gonna go in with a brush actually, because I feel like if I just keep using this, everything is going to just mix, and I don't know if it's gonna look any good. So also, I wonder if this is like picking up on camera. It looks a little bit better in person. And then she went in with a darker blush like right in this area here, so I'm also going to do that. I'm using this Mally Evercolor Cheek Stick on the mauve, so I'm gonna just also go ahead and use my finger and draw a line here and use my blush brush and blend that. I feel like she has a little bit more blush on than I do, or maybe I'm just blending it out a little bit too much. So I'm gonna go and just add a little bit more blush to the cheeks. This baby hair is like in the way. How does that look? I don't know. I feel like this is not enough blush for me, but then again, I have blush blindness, so it looks like she goes in and sets like parts of her face a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with my AOA Perfect Setting Powder. This is just a loose powder. I did add a little bit of the Essence Skin Trio in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this fluffy side. Looks like she goes and primarily sets under the eyes, and then she loosely sets around the face. So that's what I'm also gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this though, because y'all know I like setting my entire face, but we'll just do what she's doing and hope for the best. Okay, it looks like she somewhat sets up here. And I'm just gonna pick up whatever powder I have and just gently pat this all over. So now for the brows, I'm going in with my LYS Secure Brow Pencil. I forgot what shade this is. Oh, dark brown. There's a spoolie and a pencil, so I'm gonna just use this product as my brow product for this. Their brow pencils are a little different from what I have, so I'm just going to try my best. It looks like it's like not as arched and like curved as the Western makeup look, but I feel like my brows are appropriate for that look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do go straight like this, and then just follow the natural tail. It kind of just looks like my normal brows, honestly. It looks a little bit different in person versus on camera. It's kind of picking up a little bit like of just the usual brows I do. But I guess this is kind of how I do my brows naturally. So hers is like more downwards though, so I'm gonna go a little bit downwards like so. She puts a brow gel in, but I don't really have a brow gel I want to use right now, so I'm just gonna leave my brows and we're gonna go into the eyes. I'm gonna use my Wonder Beauty Getaway Eye and Face palette. I have not reached into this palette at all yet, so I thought I can go ahead and use this palette for this video just to get some use and really try out the formula. Y'all already know I like my Wonder Beauty products, well, most of them, so let's go ahead and do that. So she goes in with like a skin tone kind of shadow, but it's a little pinky. I also have my Tarte Be You Naturally palette here. I'm actually gonna go and set my eyelids a little bit with the skin tone one, just because this is what I do for my eyeshadows to stay. So I'm just gonna set my eyes a little bit, but I'm not changing the tone or anything. I'm gonna use Chateau, this shade right here. I'm gonna use that with a fluffy brush and just lightly dip. Ooh, there's a lot of kick ups, so I'm just gonna, it looks like she blends it all the way, like all over the lid and like up here a little bit, and then she brings it down onto the lower lash line. So that's what I'm gonna also do. She also brings it out a little bit out here, so I'm gonna also do that. I'm gonna go in to the same shade and just bring it down here. I don't really like using a fluffy brush like that because like I can tend to blend downwards a little bit too much. So that's why I'm switching my brush. It's definitely opening up the eyes a little bit. The reason why I wanted to try Chinese makeup is because, of course, I haven't actually tried this style of makeup 100%, like following a tutorial, but also I've just been really into Chinese dramas right now. Like, I have watched the drama Love in the Clouds 3 times already. I'm currently rewatching it right now, and I don't know, I just love the plot, I love the story, I love the cast members, the chemistry between them and everything, and I just think it's such a beautifully written drama. So, and I just love the makeup and costumes, not costumes, are they considered costumes? I don't know, but I just really love the look. So I have been really into like just listening to Chinese music, traditional and like C-pop and C-drama OSTs and stuff like that. So I wanted to just try this and celebrate like what I'm into right now, you know? Okay, and then she uses a darker shade to go in the outer corner and like blend a little bit. There's not really a dark shade in this Wonder Beauty palette. You see? Like they look kind of dark on camera right now, but swatching it, I already used the darker, this shade. I already used that one on the eyes. And this one's a little lighter. So I'm gonna go into my Tarte palette and just go in to my, what shade is this? Daybreak shade, which is like the tan, dark tan shade, and add that. Looks like she puts it in the outer corner and then she blends it outwards. So there's like a little bit of like a shadow and like gradient. So I feel like this shade is not dark enough. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my dark brown in here, which is Explore. I'm just gonna go ahead and pack it on the outer corner right now. And then I'll use my fluffier brush to blend it out. Okay, so I zoomed y'all in a little bit so you can see the eye look a little bit better. Okay, so it looks like she's bringing it in and then outwards a little bit more. So maybe if I go in with this eye-catching crease one. This is a little bit denser than the one I've been using. Bring it inwards a little bit, and looks like she brings it upwards a little bit with leftover shadow. It looks like she goes in and blends it down here a little bit too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same. Hers is a little bit more like cool tone. Mine's a little bit more neutral, but that's okay. I don't have every like exact product that she does, so I'm not gonna expect to have the same exact eye look. So it looks like she contours her nose a little bit more. So let me just go get a powder, a powder contour, and I'll be right back. I am back and I pulled out my Phase Zero blush and bronzer trio. It looks like she uses the same eyeshadow to kind of sort of contour, I think. She didn't show her product, but I don't think this shadow is gonna look good as a contour or like a bronze on around my nose. I'm gonna go in with an actual like kind of contoury bronzer to shape the eye area a little bit. So it looks like she kind of shapes this area a little bit more. I feel like I didn't contour my nose dark enough, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same contour here, because hers look very defined versus mine. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do that really quick. I am back with another palette because she puts another shadow on and I feel like the shadows I have right now are not dark enough. So I went and grabbed my Morphe X Jaclyn Hill palette in Dark Magic. It looks like she goes and adds it kind of like a shadow liner here and like really wings it out. So that's what I'm gonna do too. And I'm gonna use my angled brush here. She does put on like a eyelid sticker thingy, but I don't have that, and also I feel like I don't really need it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this brown shadow. I'm going in Mojo. This is just a dark brown, and I'm gonna go and blend that out. Honestly, maybe I could have just used this palette a little bit more. Like, I have more cool tones in here, but it is what it is. Okay, so she basically lines sort of like the the upper lash line kind of, and then she kind of flares it out a little bit with leftover, whatever's left over on her brush. At least that's what it looks like. So that's what I'm gonna also do. This is definitely not gonna be as good as hers, but you know what? It is what it is. Does that look even remotely the same? This is why I love watching makeup tutorials. Like, I grew up watching makeup tutorials and that's how I know how to do my makeup. But I always tailored it and changed it up to really match my face shape, because there would be times where I would follow a makeup tutorial, either it's eyes or, you know, face. One, they are of different complexion shade than I am, so I'm either putting too light of a foundation on or too dark, and then also their eye shapes are different from mine. And a lot of the times growing up learning how to do makeup, especially on my own, is that I watched a lot of Western, like white people kind of tutorials, and their eye shape is not the same as Asian eye shapes. So I tend to do their look, and my look would look very dramatic compared to theirs, or not as appealing and beautiful as theirs, because my eyes are different. And I didn't learn about that about myself and having to like change things up for my eye shape until like I went into college. Looks like she kind of angled it out a little bit. I don't know, y'all. Like, this is a lot of work for a look that looks a little bit more natural. I don't know. But I do know that like Chinese makeup is not as natural as like Korean looks. And I'm not gonna put that label on them. Even though there's like more like just defining features and stuff, it's still a lot of steps. And then she uses the dark brown also on the lower lash line, so that's what I'm gonna do. I already kind of do this step in my makeup routine anyways, so this is not a new step really. The next step, she uses lashes. I don't have any lashes that are appropriate for this look, so I'm gonna skip that step and just go straight to mascara. All right, I've curled my lashes and I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Great Lash Mascara. I have been loving this mascara so much because it's just so perfect for like a falsy kind of look, but without, you know, actually putting falsies on. Do you see that? That is one coat. No mascara, one coat of mascara. I really like it for days when I want length. Almost like I'm wearing very natural looking falsies. There we go. That is 2 coats of mascara. I think I'm gonna just do a little bit more like on the tips, just to really fan it out and make it look a little bit more dramatic. So that's how the lashes on top look like. She also goes in with false lashes on the lower lash line, but I also do not have those lashes. So I'm gonna skip that and just go in with my Karinko black mascara here. I really like this for the lower lash line because the wand is so thin and tiny and it doesn't smudge or anything. So I'm gonna put those on like on the lower lash line. And then I'll come back once they are all dried. I am back. I have my upper and lower mascaras on. They look pretty dried now, so I'm gonna continue the look. And it looks like she goes in with a cooler toned brown to kind of create that kind of egg yolk style, or like, you know, that little flab thingy. I don't know what they call it. She does have like directions in Mandarin, but I also can't read that. So I'm just gonna guess. I mean, the point of this is to really make your eyes bigger. So I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Like, is this right? Because it's supposed to be obvious, right? I don't know if I'm making it obvious enough. It's a lot of steps, but you know what? We'll get through it. We'll get through it. Okay, you know what? That is the best I can do. Maybe I just don't have the right kind of equipment or product. That's okay. We tried. Next, it looks like she goes in with like a lighter powder. Like a, what is it? A matte brightening powder. I'm gonna go in Crystallize, which is the brightening shade in here. Okay, so she puts it right in the inner corner right here, and then she brings it downwards. So I'm gonna do the same. Mine is not as bright as hers, but that's okay. There we go. And then it looks like she goes in over here to brighten it up. I'm not sure what she does over here, honestly. Oh my gosh, I just totally ruined that. All right, forget about it. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna go in with my Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. And I'm gonna go in with this white shade here, because that's what it looks like. Let me just, okay, yeah, that is definitely so much better. Okay, and then it looks like she goes in with a angled liner brush with the same white, and she like brings it up here. If I'm getting the steps wrong, I am so sorry. I am still learning. And then it looks like she probably brightens up sort of by like the brow bone or wing area. This is a lot of products. Anyways, okay, so now she goes in with a shimmer. I am gonna go in, she goes in kind of like with a goldeny pink shimmer. There's Cabana and Yacht, these two. So let's watch these and see which one. I think I'm gonna go with this one, Cabana. Or maybe I can do both. Yeah, let's just go with both, yeah? She puts it right on the lid here. Oh my gosh, that is so pigmented. Let's put a little bit of that goldeny shade on top. Yep, okay. Kind of supposed to keep this area matte and whatever, but okay, now she goes in to, I'm gonna just use the Cabana one, so the goldeny shade, and I'm just gonna go in. She highlights right here. It's not as brightening. I'm gonna go in with the highlight actually. I'm gonna go with After Hours here. Use that as the inner highlight here. Hopefully it's bright enough. Oh yes, it is. I had to change my battery because that's how long I have been filming. Next is eyeliner. So I'm gonna just go in with my YC collection and San Juan. This is a black liner. She uses like a brown in the inner corner, but I'm too lazy to get up right now because I already got up to change my battery. So I'm just gonna lightly line down here. So she lines down here and then brings it upwards. So I'm gonna do the same. This is my first time using this eyeliner. I'm hoping it doesn't smudge on me because that would really suck. Okay, so there's that, and then she goes in with a liquid liner. I have my KVD here, and she lines the upper lash line and then draws a wing. So I'm gonna also do that. Okay, so I am officially done with the eye. She also goes and like puts fake lashes, like draws fake lashes on the lower lash line, but I'm not gonna do that right now because I do get dry eyes and I do sometimes get watery eyes because of my dry eyes. So I'm not gonna do that. Hopefully this looks good enough for like a Chinese makeup look. But we're gonna go and finish the face. So it looks like she does a little bit of powder contour or bronzer to sculpt the nose again. And then she goes with some highlight, and then she goes in with powder blush. So that's what we're going to do. I am going to, where are you? I'm gonna use this palette once more, and I don't have all of my brushes here with me. They're like over there, like in front of me, so behind you. I did not realize that I would need this many tools, but we're gonna use this flat pigment packer brush. Just gonna lightly tap in here because we don't really need that much. I kind of already went in and did this look for us, or not this look, but this step for us. So I don't know how much more I need to sculpt my nose, but we're just going to go with the flow. And I'm gonna go in with the highlight in here, and I am going to use my highlighting brush here. I need to wash my brushes, so this is the perfect day to do something like this. I'm gonna go in with After Hours highlight. That's the shade. Can you? Oh yes, that looks gorgeous. And then it looks like she puts highlight down the cupid's bow here as well. So I'm just gonna use a small brush, the one that I used to highlight. Do you see the highlight? Oh yes. I'm also gonna just put a little bit more, like concentrate a little bit more on the nose. And then right here as well. Because I know that's what Chinese makeup they like to do. They like to concentrate, wow. They like to concentrate the highlight right there. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then I'm gonna go into Day Trip, which is the blush in here, and I am going to really set that blush there. Very pigmented. She uses more of like a peachier blush, but I kind of went in with a pink blush, so I'm gonna stick to that. I feel like I need to concentrate this a little bit more right here. How does that look? There we go. She uses like a liquid highlighter or like brightener. I don't have that, so I'm not gonna go in with that. Now onto the lips. This is like the last step. I'm gonna just dab off my lip balm. I have two lip liners here. Should I do BFF or BFF2? She has like a pinkier look going on, and these are a little bit like more nudes, but I kind of want to use these. Maybe BFF. Let's go with BFFs. So it looks like she does a little bit of liner here, And then a little bit of liner here and here. And then she fills in this part of the lip, like so. And then she goes in with like a lip tint stain kind of gloss. I have 2 options in front of me. I have the YC Collection Lip Balm in Smoothie. This is a pink. Oop, that's lighting. This is pink. Like so. So I could use that. Or this is the Fenty, what is this called? Slip Shine. Shine lipstick. And this one is in Goji Gang. This is how it looks like. Which one? Which one? That one was a terrible swatch. Maybe I'll do the YC. Let's do the YC one first, and then if I need a little bit more like depth in color. Alright, that is the final look. Let's put down the hair and see what it looks like all together. What do y'all think? Let me zoom you in a little bit actually. Maybe I can add in, I think I can add in a little bit of this Fenty first. Right here. This is how it looks like, y'all. So that is the makeup look. Do y'all like? I like this look. I feel like there's just so many steps I have to take in order to achieve this kind of look. And I do really like it. I feel like my eyes are definitely enlarged. My lips look a little bit fuller. And like just with the hair and like my outfit today, it does look pretty good. Like this looks really nice. I actually really like this look. This is probably something I will wear again, especially on days that I want to have a full face of makeup, but not necessarily like a dramatic eye look like how a lot of Westerners do, you know? But one thing that I probably won't do next time is put the lip liner out in the corner. It looks kind of weird to me. Kind of looks like I didn't line my lips correctly. I think it looks fine on camera, but in person, it kind of looks like I ate like ice cream or something and I just smeared my entire lip look all over my face. So I'm probably gonna just line the Cupid's bow and down here a little bit and maybe like fill in the actual shade, like the lip pencil, like the shade right right on the lips, so that way I can wear that as my main color. She does use a little bit more products, so like she uses more highlight and stuff, which I could technically, she puts highlight right here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I forgot. But there's a lot of products involved and I don't know if I need to use all of those products to achieve this kind of look. Also, she went and did the lashes and everything first before she did the eyeliner. At first, I was like, this is kind of inconvenient because my lashes are in the way, but I don't mind it. I'm gonna have to see if I like this order of steps where I do my lashes first and then I do my eyeliner, because typically I would do my eyeliner first and then my mascara, but it's looking pretty good today. And the whole Ayo style, or like the thing to brighten up the eyes, I can't really tell. Maybe it's just because I don't have the same products, but yeah, today's look is actually really good. Let me know what you think. I feel like I might do another kind of look like this, but more colorful. So I'm thinking about more like purpley, pinks, blues, something more colorful, but along the line of like doing this kind of step. I actually really like it. The only thing that is like crazy is I don't have bronzer on, which is so strange to me because I love my bronzers, but this look actually looks very clean and really refreshing. So I might have to wear this again, especially like to the office or something. See how it looks. I look more Asian, if that makes sense, with this look. But yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for just sitting here and getting ready with me and like just seeing this transformation. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below on what you would like to see next, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.